Hello world, it is another great day. It is currently about 9:30 in the morning and I am on my way to Bellingham to a coaching appointment with a client. So we have a weekly in-person meeting and we talk about their marketing, their challenges, ideas, really helping to coach them on setting up effective Facebook ads campaigns and their landing pages, and then also just talking through the different, this particular client has a couple of different pieces to their business that are related but separate, really targets different demographics, and so there's certain challenges with how to set that up and how to market to those different target markets actually. So yeah, it's always interesting and challenging. So yeah, looking forward to that this morning. Last night my meeting went for nearly 2 hours, which in my opinion is way too long, but we just had a lot of stuff to cover. Started my day yesterday at, well, I got up at I was woken up by my son at 4 a.m. and I got home from that meeting at 9 p.m. So it was a really long day. It made this morning getting out of bed at 5:30 a little bit difficult, but still got up, spent the first hour and a half of my day doing my devotions, spending time just planning my day, reviewing my life plan, just really getting my mindset focused and clear about what I need to get done today, clear about why I am doing what I'm doing. I think that's so important. Something that I sometimes lose track of in the busyness, that, you know, I get so busy with all the different things that sometimes you just kind of lose track of why you're even doing it. And when that happens, I find myself slipping into a bit of a depression and funk and wondering why do this. And you know, this is not, I tell you what, building a business, it would be a whole lot easier if I just went out and got a job. That literally would be a slow death for me, but it would be a lot easier. It would be a lot easier than the load that I carry trying to do this on my own. But it's worth it, and as long as I keep my mindset right, as long as I keep focusing on the why and keep focused on not just today, but also where I want to be next year, where I want to be in 5 years, and where I want to be in 10 years. You know, when I think about those things, and then what do I want the end of my life to look like? And if I'm going to arrive at those locations, then today matters. Today is significant. And if today matters, then it makes everything worth it. All right, another meeting down. That was about an hour and 40 minutes. So it's amazing how long these conversations could go on, and just, yeah, there's just a lot of complexity when it comes to marketing a business. But what's funny is it doesn't have to be that complex, and that's something that I've really come to realize lots of times with business owners, is that there is a tendency to choose complexity over clarity. If we continue to believe it's complex, it becomes a bit of an excuse for procrastination. That well, it's, you know, it's so complex. I've got to think about it. I've got to work through it. I've got to, so that's one of the things with the client that I just met with. Things get really, really complex with him. And so part of the job of my partner and I while we're meeting with him is that, you know, we just keep trying to bring it back to being clear and focusing on one thing and not letting all the complexities stand in the way of progress, because that's ultimately what ends up happening, is that there's just a lot of progress that doesn't happen because it's so complex. If we just choose the clear next step, choose what makes most sense now, and take that, you know, take one step forward, things end up working out. Things kind of, you know, work themselves out, and we start learning along the way what's working, what isn't, and, you know, what we need to change. Of all of the potential paths forward, your job is just to choose one. All right, I'm back home, been home for a couple hours, and been working on an email nurturing sequence. So you can kind of see on my computer, maybe you can't see it that well, but basically an email nurturing sequence is a series of emails that get sent out automatically based on a client or lead's request. So in this situation, I'm working on this for a client of mine, and so whenever someone goes to their website, fills out a quote request form, he wants to be able to send them a series of nurturing emails that kind of indoctrinates them into his business, into the way they do business, helps answer questions. So it's kind of a pre-sales type of tool. So the great thing about email is it really does become a salesperson, and it works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and can be automated. So it's a really powerful tool. And funny thing is, so often I talk to businesses and they're like, yeah, that doesn't work anymore, or they try and tell me, well, yeah, that doesn't, you know, people don't do that anymore. You know what? It's frustrating sometimes because they're telling me, and I'm like, man, I'm working with these businesses and this stuff works. It's working every day. These emails that get sent out, man, they are closing business and they're growing his business. We live in such an amazing time to be able to use these tools, and they're cheap when you think about it. So you think about like an email program, you know, it costs like $50 a month. Like, oh my goodness, I'm paying $600 a year. It's paying him back thousands of dollars, potentially a month. So anyway, that's what I'm working on right now. It can be a little tedious and arduous. It takes time, and after a little while, I just have to take a break because my brain just gets a little bit fried doing it. But it's just so worth it, and especially to see those results come in. So that's what I'm working on right now. All right, so it is about 6 o'clock at night now, and I am in my garage, and I am roasting coffee. So it's kind of a hobby of mine. I actually do it for some friends and for myself, and typically I do this on the weekends, but this weekend I was really busy, been doing some work on the house, and so I never got around to roasting coffee, and now it's getting to a kind of a critical situation, you might say, and I need some coffee. My friends need some coffee, so here I am doing some roasting. So I think that's going to do it for today. I hope you got something out of this today. There's a lot of things that were just kind of on my mind that I shared, and so I hope it was worthwhile, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bonus footage. This is my little buddy, Levi. He's the most awesome Levi. Well, it's kind of a weird Levi too.